I'm Galvin De Leon Guerrero, and on behalf of Alicia Williams and Kurt Baker, the three of us will describe one method of studying leadership, the trait approach. Our primary source for today's discussion is Leadership, Theory and Practice, the 7th edition by Peter G. Nordhaus. In the early 20th century, leadership traits were studied to determine what made certain people great leaders. The trait approach, one of the first systematic attempts to study leadership, is based on two key premises. First, that people are born with leadership traits. They cannot be learned. And second, that only great people possess these traits.
This is why the theories that were developed were called great man theories. Researchers looked at great social, political, and military leaders, people like Abraham Lincoln, Mahatma Gandhi, Catherine the Great, Joan of Arc, just to name a few, to identify specific traits that differentiated leaders from followers.
In 1948, however, Ralph Stockdale challenged the great man research. His work suggested that no consistent set of traits differentiated leaders from non-leaders across a variety of situations. An individual with leadership traits, who is a leader in one situation, might not be a leader in another situation. Stockdale's work also provided a list of important leadership traits that were related to how an individual becomes a leader, which unleashed 6 decades of studies by a range of scholars, all looking for the Holy Grail, a definitive list of leadership traits and characteristics. The list grew spectacularly long.
Despite the large number of possible leadership traits identified in all the various studies, 5 traits appeared with considerable frequency: intelligence, self-confidence, determination, integrity, and sociability. Let's look at these one by one.
First is intelligence. Having strong verbal ability, perceptual ability, and reasoning appears to make one a better leader. One caution, though: if the leader's intelligence surpasses his or her followers, the leader's intellect can actually be counterproductive, especially if the ideas are too advanced for followers to accept.
Self-confidence includes self-esteem, self-assurance, self-respect, and the belief that one can make a difference. Michelle Obama is a great example of this trait. A 2012 Forbes article said, "In everything Michelle Obama has done, she has always held a high level of self-respect and respect for others."
Determination involves initiative, persistence, domination, and drive. For example, Dr. Paul Farmer, who dedicated his career to providing health care for the very poor in Haiti, saw that his work required money, organization, and support. In response, he founded Partners in Health, a charitable foundation that funds healthcare efforts across the developing world.
Integrity makes a leader believable and worthy of our trust. It goes to the character of the leader. The archives of the King Center contain a 1967 letter to the Boston Globe that concludes, "The greatest people are those who speak not for personal gain, but from a deep sense of inner integrity."
Sociability enables followers to develop genuine affinity for their leader. Herb Kelleher, the founder of Southwest Airlines, is a case in point. How can you not love a guy who avoided a lawsuit over an advertising slogan by arm wrestling the CEO of the disputing company, then donating saved legal fees to charity? In the 1990s, research into personality intersected with research into leadership, exploring whether certain personality traits are associated with being an effective leader. The basic factors that make up personality were called the Big Five, and they're neuroticism, extroversion, openness, agreeableness, and conscientiousness. Of the Big Five, extroversion was the factor most strongly associated with leadership. Agreeableness was found not to be meaningfully correlated to leadership. And the other 3, conscientiousness, openness, and low neuroticism, in that order, were found to be marginally related to leadership.
In the 1990s, yet another new way of looking at the impact of traits on leadership emerged. Emotional intelligence is the interplay between emotions and thinking. Theo Epstein, the numbers guru who turned around both the Red Sox and Chicago Cubs, was seen to be the poster child for this approach. Epstein speaks of the importance of using both measurable performance and unmeasurable character assessments when building teams. A number of researchers agree, citing the importance of emotional intelligence in achieving success at home, in school, and at work. This, however, is still hotly debated.
It is important to emphasize that the trait approach is very different from the other leadership approaches that we will study in the weeks ahead. Its focus is on the leader, not on the followers and not on the situation. It is only concerned with what traits leaders exhibit and who has these traits. The trait approach has several strengths. First, it fits with the popular perception that leaders are out front leading the way in society. Second, it has been studied for more than 100 years, and that's a lot of data. Third, by focusing on the leader, it provides razor-sharp focus on the leadership traits that are most important.
Leading the list of shortcomings of the trait approach is that after 100 years of study, no definitive list of leadership traits has been agreed. Also, the approach fails to address situational leadership. Moreover, it does not consider outcomes. And finally, the approach is not useful for leadership training and development.
The next to last slide provides a brief summary of the topics covered in today's presentation. We thank you for your attention and look forward to our class discussion on June 6th.
In the meantime, to inform our class discussion, we ask for your assistance in completing a leadership survey about your own leadership traits. On June 6th, we will share aggregate results from the survey with our class. Rest assured that no individual data will be shared.
The web address for the leadership survey is on this final slide. Thanks again for watching. Fight on!